Well, hello guys, it's Unclejona here, back with a beer review. I know it's been a little bit of time, but January is over. And for those of you, that means dry January's over. I did not do dry January. I did slow down January. Although I did have a couple of alcohol-free beers. And they were from Brewdog, which was kind of crazy because Brewdog have literally shat the bed. They are not the force that they used to be. Well, or are they? Some people would say they're just as shit now as they used to be back then. I have a love-hate relationship with Brewdog. I got the book because I was a home brewer, and yeah, it didn't really go into all the details that you needed to know. It gave you a rough idea. So most half decent homebrewers could work out the recipe. But they screwed a lot of people over. They planted some trees which then died because they didn't know what they were doing. They shut down. Well, it never actually opened, but there was going to be a Canterbury Brewdog in the new development, which was a student residential development. You would have thought those students would have loved Brewdog. They bought a bar, they built it, and then they never opened it. It's not actually being used as far as I know at the moment. So yeah, I'm still in the fuck Brewdog category. So Shimon. However, you're not here to listen to me wax lyrical about Brewdog. Although those alcohol-free beers, they're called mellow, and they've got magnesium in them, infused somehow, and they tasted pretty good. However, they're expensive for a beer without alcohol in, which is basically water. Why are you charging beer prices? Oh yes, that's right, because you're Brewdog. Yeah, and that doesn't sit well with me. However, while I was at the supermarket this very weekend, I came across this, and these guys are Scottish, and like Brewdog, they are quite trendy and fashionable. Although he says, there we go, Vault City, they do sour beers, and this one is called Pear and Vanilla Swirl. It's 4.8%. It says modern sour beer. If you look down here, there's the vanilla. There is a pear. But if we look up here, there's also cinnamon Danish, the sticks of cinnamon. Obviously, you've got your vanilla and your pear and all sorts of weird stuff. So I don't know. I was thinking, why doesn't it say cinnamon? Whoops. 4.8%. Yeah, it's not going to break the bank. There we go. So it's got lacto in, it's got pear in, obviously. Vanilla, it does have cinnamon in, some hops and some yeast. So yeah, and Vault City, if you don't know who they are, or if you're new to the channel, think about subscribing. Think about subscribing, because we drink lots of different beer, and we have done for years, well over 10 years. But we like sour beers. Ripe pear sweetness with subtle cinnamon notes swirl together in ultra refreshing session sour. Smooth, creamy vanilla creating a sorbet-like mouthful and finish. It says 2 on the sour scale, whatever that may mean. And where? Oh, it's round that way. Where are they based? Let's have a look. There we go. Portobello in Edinburgh. EH15 if you live up that boy. Avoid the pregnant ladies. Do some recycling. Whatever that means. It looks like those kind of crazy things you used to buy in the 90s. Well, the late 80s and 90s, and then go and dance in a cowshed on a field somewhere. Yeah, don't do that, kids. Right, let us get this bad boy in. It's quite a taut can, which is unusual for a sour beer. I always wonder with these beers, especially when they've got lacto in, they've got some other weird stuff in. It's obviously craft beer. I don't think I've seen or maybe I've seen it once, but I don't think I've seen Vault City that often in cask. At least not down here in the south. Oh, there's something else I want to tell you as well. Let's do. Oh, actually, let's pour this beer first. I was going to say let's do a photo, but there's no beer in the glass. That's kind of stupid, isn't it? Anywho, there we go. Oh, bit of head as well. So this is kind of the giveaway to me that this has kind of been forced carb somehow, or to a certain degree. Wow, that is quite sour. Boom, boom. Wow. And let me tell you, look at that head, dude. That's ridiculous. Way over 10 fingers. Well over 2 fingers. And you can see down here, look at that snowstorm that's happening. And the head is kind of starting, well, not quite, but it's starting to poke out of the top. So we should get to a drinking. But before I do that, let's have a look at this bad boy. Lovely colour. Obviously, it's a cloudy beer. Look at that. Jeez, jeez Louise, it is really going crazy. Be interesting to see what we have head watch wise. Yeah, that pear is there. The cinnamon's there. Not necessarily the vanilla. So vanilla and lacto kind of go together. It's like vanilla custard, or just normal custard because it's got vanilla in. But yeah, on one hand we've got a kind of spicy, yeah, kind of a cinnamon Danish. That's probably why it was on the can. Definitely smells like that. But then you're getting the kind of, yeah, the more custardy thing. I'm wondering, because this has got lacto in, is it going to be like a kind of dessert style sour, which would be quite good? Because apples and pears, because they are related, yeah, kind of can give a bit of sourness. And quince, my God, quince is the one. It's not so popular these days, but quince, my God, that is quite sour, quite bitter. But it's not really a fruit that you get these days, and at least not in England. It used to be very much part of the medieval times. If you've never had a quince, it's kind of like a pear, an odd-shaped kind of squashed pear, but it's got a really hard core. Hardcore. Ah! Um, like an apple or a pear does have a core, but on a quince, you'd be very difficult to get your knife through the core. So you have to kind of, it's like you bite round it, but you will know if you bite into a quince core, my God, your teeth, if you're lucky, they'll stay in your mouth. If you're unlucky, you'll crack your teeth on that bad boy. Yes, what I was going to say is it's confirmed now, going to the National Home Brewing Competition to do some judging. So if you're a judge or if you're a server there and you're watching my videos, please leave a comment down below. Say hello, say you're going to be there, and I will definitely say hello and have a drink with you in Bristol. It's usually in the West Country. And again, it's Bristol. It's a Wiper and True brewery this year. I've had a fair few of those beers. Why not subscribe to the channel? Hey, plug, getting it in once again. And have a look at my previous reviews because I've done a few of those over the years. The really good breweries over in Bristol, Wiper and True, Left-Handed Giant, which is where they were in 24 when I also did some judging. Bristol Beer Factories over there. There's really, really good breweries there. But there's also like a mini kind of beer mile, which is open pretty late. So I'm definitely going to try and get in there and drink some damn beer. You know how we roll. Anyway, let us do this for today and dive into this bad boy. Whoa. Got the foam in the tash. Look at my beard and tash. Have I got more grey hairs or is it just me? And there's more on this side than this side. It's crazy. How's that work? It is nice and mellow. It's not an obscene sour. It's not a lambic sour. It's not got that barnyard thing. It's a kettle soured beer. The lactose in there, perhaps it was more sour, and the lactose been introduced to kind of bring things up a little bit and kind of balance things out. But yeah, it's very much like a dessert, like a pear crumble with some cinnamon in, and then covered in lashings of custard, vanilla custard. Weirdly, it's sour up front, and when I say sour, not ridiculous, sour up front, and then the sweetness comes through later on, and definitely finishes with that custard sweetness, which is unusual. Usually the sourness kind of lingers, but not in this beer. Definitely getting the pear. Pardon me. This is not the first beer I've had today. I was in the Royston earlier on, having a bit of a chat with Andy. Always good if you're watching this, Andy, because I know you sneakily watch my videos. So cheers to you, my friend. We're doing a bottle share tomorrow in the Royston. I think there's about 10 people there. Always a good laugh, and you get very, very drunk because you end up drinking. Probably everyone brings at least 2, sometimes 3 beers. So yeah, you're looking over 10, 15 beers of an evening. Not pints, short tasting, which is perfect for someone that's going to be doing some beer judging at the end of the month. I need to get back in. I've still got a beer from Mike that I need to do a review on, because I promised I would, and it's the first beer he gave me, and he said, "Jesus, have you still got that one?" I went, "Yes, mate, it's in the fridge. I've had it since maybe October time, maybe November. Can't remember. Mike, you let me know. I'm sure you watch the videos sometimes too." Oh, yeah, medium sourness, but then comes the custard. It's weird, when you eat a crumble. That's what we call it in the UK. Apple crumble, rhubarb crumble, pear crumble, that kind of thing. Sometimes you do a bit of a mix, so apple and cherry, perhaps. Um, if you put the custard around um, the bowl, shall we say, so you take your spoon and you give it a good amount of crumble, and then you put your custard around the outside. You pour it all in the top, like in the middle. Of course, when you take your spoon out, you're just going to be covered in custard. But if you put it around the outside, you can go in through the middle, get a spoonful of the crumble, and kind of take a little bit of custard, and that's chef's kiss. Bueno. Been watching some Italian shit on YouTube. Funny, man, absolutely funny. And the other half is partly Italian, so mamma mia. Oh, wow, that is actually nice, surprisingly nice. Look at all that lacing. Wow, there's some sort of ant in the foam, or maybe a caterpillar, something like, yeah, that big hungry caterpillar is crawling along with some clouds in the sky. I love foam watch. You can really get into it. It's like lying on your back in a summer's day in a meadow or on the beach, if you're lucky enough to live where I do, and just look at the wispy clouds forming different shapes in the sky. You don't need to do that when you've got a beer, because you can look at your glass. You can get this beer at Sainsbury's. It's on one of those deals. Four for three is the current deal. I did go into Waitrose as well today for my lunch, and because it's across the road, don't think I'm getting poncy or anything, but their deal was 5 for 4, which isn't such a good deal. And Waitrose is a bit more expensive, but they have some nice beers. Pear and Vanilla Swirl, and yeah, by Vault City. Is it a pastry, fruited pastry sour at 4.8%? Really, really good. You can get this for under £3. I think they retail for 370, 360. But if you do the deal, it's just under £3 per can. So you're probably looking 280, 290 for a can. My God, beer prices, even in the supermarket, have gone up a lot. It's ridiculous. Pardon me. This has been Unclejona, drinking beers, drinking sour beers, so you don't have to. Like I say, I'm going to a bottle share tomorrow, so there's not even a thought of doing an upload for tomorrow. But please come back. You'll know when. Why not sign up and click the bell icon and all that stuff, and you'll get notifications and you'll know when I've uploaded. I'll probably put it on Facebook as well. This has been your loving Unclejona. Please tell the ones that you love that you do love them. It's February. It's almost Valentine's after all. And I'll be back. I'll be back drinking more beer. And that'll be coming up real soon.